This presentation provides an overview of the reason for a corridor plan for public road. A corridor plan for public road is required at this point because there is a series of infrastructure in the corridor that's been in place for some 30 years that is aging and needs to be replaced and upgraded to meet the vision that was identified in the downtown plan that the Lafayette Urban Renewal Authority prepared. That Urban Renewal Authority plan is available on the city's website if you'd like to know more details about it. The image at the bottom is one of the images that was created as part of that process. That process and the vision that was identified outlined strategies for how people get into this area, walking, biking, using transit, driving, parking. And so that vision was identified, and now there's a need for a plan to move that ahead. And so what we're working on as part of this effort is to actually develop a physical plan that shows where changes can be made and the options for those changes, the designs for those changes, and then the costs associated with those changes and how external and internal sources can be used to fund those changes. Part of the reason why those changes are happening is there's a downtown vision that's in this plan that shows how future land uses, current land uses all work together to support the character and quality of downtown Lafayette. So a corridor plan is actually a physical set of drawings that are used that help move the vision into implementation. These are examples of physical plans that we prepared in another community. And the idea is you take this vision and you move it into reality and strategy. So they include things that show where signals go, how crosswalks work, what the dimensions are for travel lanes, how the parking interfaces with sidewalks and crosswalks, what the landscaping and vegetation looks like in the corridor. So we're working with a community working group to identify those plans and strategies that will be brought to council for consideration. And so we'll talk more in the other videos about that working group and some of those details, but these are examples of what a corridor plan looks like. The corridor plan has several steps. It's going to be a 6-month process. It was launched in the beginning of 2018, and that launch began with getting notification out about the corridor and the project. And then we set goals and measures and visions with a community working group. We've identified intersection alternatives and design alternatives this month in April. And then in May, there'll be a series of alternatives that have specific details. Those plans that you just saw, there'll be a series of those as options and choices. And then in June, those a preferred option will be brought to City Council for their guidance on funding and strategy and implementation. The next presentation you can download will give you an overview of the community working group and the community process for this project.